Scorpio, before we begin your reading, I want to read you a saying by Miyamoto Musashi. Be a warrior in the garden. Even in peaceful times, one should maintain the mindset and preparedness of a warrior, always ready to face challenges that may arise, just like a warrior would be alert while tending to a garden. In a nutshell, Scorpio, you need to be prepared for any situation, even when at peace. What do we have at the foundation of the reading? Five of Swords, Aquarius energy at the foundation of the reading, Scorpios. Scorpio, the energy that I'm picking up for all of you has to do with some sort of past resentment that the universe, the divine source, is encouraging you to work through at this time so you can step forward and embrace a new beginning that I feel is coming towards you within the coming weeks to coming months. Now, the message that I presented to all of you before I pulled this Five of Swords is really speaking about the Scorpio energy. When I heard that, I immediately thought of you because it encapsulates the very essence of who you are. You are very much a warrior, but it's not something that you're necessarily boastful about. It's not something that you necessarily want to be. It's sort of like a heavy burden that you have to carry with you because you know that when you're put in a position, when you are backed into a corner and you are left with no choice to stand your ground and defend your mission here, people are going to get hurt. People like to push you to see how far you will go, Scorpio. So when you finally react, they can point a finger at you and say, see, look at you. Look at what you're like. This is a perfect example of what a lot of you have had to endure on your path to awakening and truly understanding the power that you hold. Let's not forget that Mars is one of your ruling planets. It's your original ruling planet before Pluto. Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy. You are made for battle. You are made for war. But unlike Aries, who is ready to strike at a moment's notice, you're much different, Scorpio. There's a lot of mind and emotion in the way you fight your battles. As you become the greatest version of yourself, you start to realize that you can unravel the enemy's plot against you by simply standing back and observing, calculating. Your mind works like a calculator. It's like there's constantly equations, numbers, scanning and analyzing taking place in all facets of your life. And what's interesting, Scorpio, is that though you are one of the greatest of warriors, if not the, amongst the zodiac, you find your greatest strength within peace, but you always have a sword very close by that you can wield in a moment's notice, should you have to. When I picture you, Scorpio, I see you in my mind's eye, in a green garden, animals all around you, very peaceful, zen kind of environment. There's people watching you, Scorpio, people that you've left behind. You've been quiet. You haven't said a word. You have just observed from afar, seeing how these people truly get down, seen how their lives have began to come apart at the seams ever since you discovered the true nature of who they really are. I'm hearing a conversation between a group of individuals. These people are completely beside themselves. They don't know what you're going to do next. They don't know themselves what they are going to do next. These same people, at one point in time, not so long ago, thought that they had all the answers. They thought that you were an easy target. They thought they had it in the bag. They never saw any of this coming. And although what you've accomplished and the person you have become is quite impressive, their fear doesn't come from just that. It comes from what they cannot deny must be protecting you. Because how could you have made it this far through all the weapons that they have formed against you and be stronger than you have ever been at any other point in your life? What do we have at the sacral, please? The Empress. Libra. Taurus, Venusian energy at the sacral. And the illustration is very close to what I was seeing in my mind's eye. It's like there you are, right? Surrounded by this beautiful, lush greenery, animals around you, right? And there's this sort of like innocence here. There's something about you. You're a warrior, but you have this childlike innocence. I'm hearing you're directly connected to Source. Hearing something about your childhood, Scorpio, childlike innocence. It's like you've reconnected with that, even though you're an adult. You have managed to undo years and years of mental and spiritual abuse. You have gotten back to the essence of who you really are. But as we can see, the gate is ajar. You're ready and waiting on your throne, ready to stand your ground if need be. Now, though all this imagery here is metaphorical, for some of you, it could be literal. For others of you, this is what you're heading towards now. This is the vision. This is the target, is what I'm hearing. And this is coming out right at the sacral. There's something that you Scorpios are charging towards, something you're working on. It could be some sort of project or something that you're very passionate about, but this is divinely led. I feel that over the course of this past year, you have been in a state of preparation. It's been a lot of highs, there's been a lot of lows, but all of this was a kind of testing space for you. You needed to be strength tested to prepare you for what's coming your way, Scorpio. The Scorpio energy being that of transformation. The biggest challenge you will face in your life is having to learn to transform over and over again. I'm feeling this very potent connection between you and Spirit right now, Scorpio. Now, Spirit shows up in our environments, the animals, Mother Nature. There's something here that feels very profound to me. I'm seeing an eagle in my mind's eye, which is the eagle symbolizes your ability to see things from a higher perspective. It represents you as a Scorpio. This ability that you have is all the result of your dedication, your obedience to Spirit. By trusting, having faith, following the signs, the synchronicity, and your guidance. I'm picking up on this, I was going to say energy, but they want me to say feeling. It's an emotion that I have here, very proud emotion that I'm picking up from Spirit towards you, Scorpio, because of what you have accomplished. Some of you, most of you, all of you, are very hard on yourself, but in saying that, it's led you to have this incredible discipline. Scorpios in their highest vibration will run their lives like they're an actual soldier, male or female. It's just the way your mind works. There's a structure, there's an order, there's a target. You may not know every single detail of why you are here, Scorpio. You just know that you're here for something, and that's enough for the time being, because you trust that all will be revealed as you are ready to accept it. What do we have at the solar plexus? Knight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the solar plexus. Scorpio, a lot of you have had to structure your life, build a foundation for yourself before you can level up to this next level in the game, so to speak. Spirit has really been working with you behind the scenes. Everything has been unfolding in this very methodical fashion in your life. Spirit wants you to let go of fear, the fear that you may embody when you hit some of those lows, the lows that make you feel disconnected from Spirit. That's normal, Scorpios. You know, astrology is the forecast for our lives. And depending on what astrological transits you're dealing with, you're either going to feel closer or further away from Source, from Spirit. We have these massive celestial bodies moving around in the cosmos that are either allowing energies to come through or block them. And the more you become aware of this, the easier it's going to be for you to navigate your path. Because what you're going to start finding is that when you start to feel those lulls in energy, it's a sign from the cosmos to get ready because you have something coming in. This Knight of Swords at the solar plexus is representing some sort of massive change that you are preparing to charge toward, Scorpio. Spirit heard all of your prayers. Spirit knows your thoughts, your ideas. and is on board with you. But you have to understand that due to the complexities of our lives inside this third density, things have to be arranged in a very specific order to make sure that we extract as much meaning and purpose from every step on your path as we possibly can. In other words, Scorpios, Spirit wants to make sure that everybody bears witness to your greatness. Whether you care for this or not, it's a part of your path, because people, those that formed weapons against you, are going to learn their greatest lessons in life by watching your rise. And I know, Scorpio, that the closer and closer you get to the rise, to those successes, the less and less you care, because you're so consumed with your path and in that moment that the events that you have already moved on from become something that you care less and less about. But you have to remember, it's all of those things that got you to where you are. They made you who you are. They make all of this make perfect sense. Spirit really wants you to just observe, keep moving forward, but observe the miracles that unfold in your life. Be proud of your achievements and the person you're becoming. And again, Scorpio, I know it's very difficult for you to stop sometimes and pat yourself on the back, because you are not one to rest on your laurels. That is not who you are. What do we have? The heart? And look who decided to show up to the party, Scorpio. The devil. Right there at the heart. See, this is exactly what I was just feeling in the energy. They just won't let you be. They won't let you go. I heard that they feel like there's unfinished business with you. They feel that you merely just existing in this world is a threat to their very existence, because they don't know what you're going to do next. But I just heard, Scorpio, that the devil has them now. The devil used them to come for you. The devil can't access you any longer, because the only access he had to you was through these individuals, and you broke that chain. You've escaped the grasp. And I hesitated saying this, Scorpio, because it sounds so cringe, but I'm going to say it anyway. I heard that you've escaped their Luciferian cult, but it's more of a consciousness. It's a mindset that these people have. They couldn't trap you. They couldn't feed off of your energetic supply any longer. You were like a battery, an energetic source that allowed a lot of these people to build a lot of what they gained in their life merely by having you around. It's almost as if they got a pass in some areas of their life merely by their association with you. This devil is right there at the heart. So although you've moved on, Scorpio, and though you don't allow the struggles of your past to color your experience in a negative way any longer, you most certainly use your experience as tools, as wisdom. They're things that you may impart upon other people. They may be parts of your creation. Transmutation is what we call this. Taking a negative and turning it into a positive for the betterment of your reality, mankind, the world at large. You understand the meaning of ripple effects, domino effects. You understand that though you may be one individual, the power that you have harnessed to overcome what you have sends out shockwaves, ripple effects throughout the collective. You understand that when there's multiple people across the same energetic plane, is how they wanted me to put that. I think that just really speaks about the third density. Well, you understand that this has the capacity, the ability, rather, to create worldwide shifts and awakenings. You understand your place in the universe, Scorpio. You understand that you are a part of the greater mechanics of evolution inside your reality. You were tasked with a mission, you accepted, and you succeeded with flying colors. Some of you are in it now, some of you are heading towards this. You're all going to be on different parts of the journey. But no matter where you are in the journey, this message is for all of you. These individuals are living in fear because they don't know the moon on the bottom of the deck. What's coming next? And as we can see, Knight of Swords with the devil. We have a very clear representation of this in the illustrations. See how there's what looks to be this little village that's been burned down, right? I just heard that represents your past. That represents a false reality that these individuals tried to keep you indoctrinated into, so you would never understand how truly powerful you were, so you would never remember who you were and step into your power. And now these individuals are consumed by fear, shackled to the devil here. They became so arrogant because they were getting wins year after year when it came to you, Scorpio. So they didn't even see this coming. I'm hearing that these individuals have nothing left. Some of these individuals have lost all hope. And I'm hearing, I feel reluctant to say this because, well, you know what it is, Scorpio? When you get to the point that you're at now, even your worst of enemies, you don't like to think of as suffering. Some of these individuals may have done the most diabolical things to you, but your awareness is on a different plane now. You just look at these individuals as limited. They just don't see things the way you do. They don't understand. They're underdeveloped, spiritually speaking, is really what it comes down to. And when you start to have this awareness, even though you know there must be karmic consequences for their actions, because this is the only way they will truly learn their lesson and get on the path to being rehabilitated, spiritually speaking, you don't wish this upon anyone, because based on their treatment and action towards you, you have a pretty good idea of what these karmic consequences are going to look like for them. And it's not good. What do we have at the throat, please? Wow. It's not good. And after everything else I just said, what do we get? The Tower. Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy. I had a feeling we were going to see this. We did speak about it earlier on in the reading, and now it's here. And it's right at the throat. Throat chakra. You speak in your truth. See, this is how it always goes down for Scorpios. Scorpios are meant to create empires off of what they have had to overcome, spiritually speaking, in their lives, which is just an umbrella term for all of the struggles that you have gone through. They wanted me to put it that way because it's spiritual in nature. A lot of what you've had to go through, Scorpio, these things, it was unseen. It's like you couldn't really see what was happening to you because the way they came for you was in a spiritual manner. So a lot of what you have dealt with, these attacks, have all been by way of your mind and your core values. I just heard your hierarchy of needs. This is how the enemy comes for Scorpios. They don't actually target the Scorpio directly until they have exhausted all other avenues. And what I mean by this is your enemies, and I feel for a lot of you Scorpios, it's your family, people that you once considered closest to you. But what they do is create cracks in your foundation. They go for all of the basic needs in your life, and they do it over an extended period of time. So you're seemingly too worn down to do anything about it. These are the kinds of people that will wedge themselves into your friendships without you knowing, contacting people behind the scenes. These are the kinds of people that will destroy all your personal relationships, the romantic relationships in your life. I'm getting a lot of ringing in my ear right now. So I feel that that one is going to resonate with a lot of you. They went for your happiness. They went for your need to receive love. As humans, we need to feel love in some capacity. It doesn't necessarily have to come from another human being. It can come from your connection to Source, Spirit, God, the Creator, which is typically where you begin to receive it from once you have gone through this, because you're left with no choice. They take everything from you. So you fall into the arms of Spirit, which is the absolute worst thing that can happen for your enemy, because this is when you go into your garden, metaphorically speaking, find peace within self, and become a force that is so powerful and is so destructive when provoked. The Tower at the throat. They poked year after year, and then finally you disappeared and came back out. And it's all by way of your truth. See, that's what they fear the most. It has very little to do with being a physical destructive force. This is you being a destructive force by way of your truth. Scorpios can take their struggles and their truth and mold it into beautiful creations that stand the test of time. You were sent into these individuals' reality to wake them up. You are the revelation. You reveal the presence of God and spirit by way of how you move in your world, Scorpio. I'm hearing that some of these people you're dealing with, they never believed in God, or they're the kinds of people that would maybe say that they do, but when they sat down to really think about it, they don't know what they're talking about. But you are making these people have to come to terms with the fact that there's no other way, that God doesn't exist, because you are a walking, talking testament to the presence of the higher order in their reality. I just heard, when I looked down at this tower card, you are the thunder, you are the lightning, which is representing the revelation in these individuals' lives. And then right on the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. So God, Spirit, the divine, showing up. Right on the other side of this tower, Devil, Tower, the divine. Let's switch decks. What do we have at the third eye, please? Eight of Swords in reverse, Gemini energy at the third eye. This Eight of Swords at the third eye is representing your liberation from this cycle where these individuals were once able to access you. It's over now. All of you are preparing to step into this new timeline where you're going to be working directly with Spirit on your path and your purpose. If you've been putting the work in and everything that I'm channeling through for you resonates up until this point, then this reading is for you. Some of you out there, I'm getting a lot of ringing in my ears during this reading, especially around here. Heart chakra to third eye chakra. So there's a lot of release going on in this area. There's a lot of calibration. There's a lot of balancing from the heart chakra up. So what's being released at the heart is what you are articulating at the throat, which is setting you free with this Eight of Swords at the third eye. Okay, I just heard very clearly. So your third eye chakra is all connected to your intuition and your vision, being able to see beyond, right? But it's also speaking about your vision for where you see yourself, what you envision for your life and where you would like to end up, where you're going to end up, rather. And by this release and by this truth being released into the world, you are able to access the vision. So simply put, you speak your truth and it clears your path. And this is one of these things for Scorpios that is perpetual. Every time you want to up-level or you want to attain something in your life, you need to connect speaking truth to it. Now, what does that mean, right? Well, maybe there's things that you're still holding on to that Spirit wants you to release, that wants you to transmute, because of the tremendous amount of healing that will impart upon others. So maybe you just simply telling your story, events, things that have happened to you, Scorpio. It doesn't always have to make perfect sense. The whole point for you is that sometimes just opening your mouth and speaking and getting out what you're trying to get out, despite whether it's in some sort of beautiful, articulated, structured fashion, is the key. This is what's necessary. Allow other people who are blessed with your wisdom and your stories, Scorpio, to put it together the way they want to put it together. It's sort of like a songwriter. They may record and write and release a song that means one thing to them, but then there's people who listen to it, who interpret it and take something from it that is completely different than what the actual original subject matter of the song was all about. If you can sort of take on this mindset when it comes to your creations and things that you're releasing out into the world, Scorpio, your truths, it's going to help you move at a more accelerated rate. You're going to be able to get more done because you're not going to be overthinking so much. Again, just release, liberate yourself, and give back to the collective all of these beautiful golden nuggets of wisdom that you have just marinating inside of you. And then right on the bottom of the deck, I have the Knight of Pentacles. So this illustration really touches on what I just said, right? It's like you have this golden coin in your hand. But the Knight of Pentacles is also the slowest moving energy in the tarot. I mean, this horse is practically fallen asleep. Yeah, I just heard pick up the pace, okay? What do we have at the crown, please? Okay, too many cards, but we got the Hangman and the Devil in reverse. What do we have at the crown, please? Ten of Wands, Sag energy at the crown. So followed everything that we just channeled through perfectly. So here you are with all these burdens, right? Both the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Wands here upright speak about liberation. You releasing, liberating yourself from the pain of the past, the struggles that you have endured on your path. It's time to give it up. It's time to give it to spirit. It's time to transmute that out into the universe. See, what some of you don't realize yet is that all of that is how you pour a golden path to yourself, Scorpio, to that vision. This is how, I just heard, this is how you pave your own yellow brick road. You build your empire from the pain of the past, an empire of pain. That doesn't embody the Scorpio energy. I don't know what does. It's a very gothic kind of vibe, which is the Scorpio energy, right? But it's poetic. It's beautiful. It's the perfect culmination of war and peace. It's like you exist somewhere in between, territory that no other zodiac has been able to master quite like you, Scorpio. What do we have at the foundation? Eight of Swords, Gemini energy again. Okay, so this Eight of Swords here in reverse reads exactly the same way as this Eight of Swords upright at the foundation of the reading. This energy that you have liberated yourself from, it's a kind of principality, a spirit, right? Like I said to you, they came for your hierarchy of needs, spiritually speaking. You've burned it all down and liberated yourself from this. See, their tactics, their behavior towards you comes in the form of a kind of spirit. It's an energy, and it looks like that. And it's an attack on the mind is what I'm hearing. They had you, okay, I'm hearing gaslighting, right? So they had you questioning your own reality, which is what gaslighting is. It's a psychological weapon that is used to get you to question your own sanity, your own reality, as a means to gain control in a psychological manner over the victim, that being you. One of the most evil things that you can do to any individual, but to do it to somebody that is supposed to be your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, however that shows up for you, is just about the most morally corrupt and wicked, or rather depraved, things that you can do. Because again, when you get to where you've gotten to or where you're heading towards, Scorpio, you're able to reflect back over the things that you have overcome in your life, and you start to see just how much they were actually doing it to you, right? So it takes you removing yourself from the situation to see how truly severe it was. Can't see the forest for the trees. It's like getting outside the fishbowl and looking back, looking in, and you're like, I never even saw that when I was around them or consumed by all that. I couldn't see the weapons that they were forming against me because I was too close to them. You couldn't see what was right underneath your nose because you never thought to look, because you never thought that you needed to. Scorpios, you have had to accept some of the darkest truths on your path, things that you only see in movies, the things that you've had to endure. It's not even really reality. It's something else. It's still hard for you to compartmentalize it. I feel that it takes time for you to work through all of this. But that's the path that you had to take, Scorpio, because Spirit knew that you were the one that was most equipped to deal with it. It's like being a little kid and you have this dream that when you grow up, you're going to be a superhero, right? Like most kids. But you actually become one. This is the energy of a superhero, but not in the traditional sense. This is much different. This is like an anti-hero. You save others by saving yourself, by speaking your truth. There's all these beautiful complexities and details to the way you save others, and it's not so easily put into words, which is what makes it more unique than a traditional superhero. You're unassuming. What do we have at the sacral, please? Wow. Judgment, Pluto, Scorpio, that is your energy at the sacral, Belial, right underneath that Empress. There is a darkness that protects you, Scorpio. I'm hearing something about Hades, the Lord of the underworld, which is associated to you. See, it goes back to what I said, where you exist on that in-between, right? Between war and peace. That's the territory that has been assigned to you, between the light and between the dark. You are the keeper of balance. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing this black kind of miniature castle or home out in the middle of nowhere with these beautiful lush gardens all around it. But you can't see the beauty from a distance. It looks like something you don't want to approach. But as you get closer to it, you see this perfect blend of life and death, which is also your archetype, the death card in the tarot. But it's not death in the traditional sense. It's death and transformation to the old as a means to become the warrior that you truly are. You also represent Judgment and the Tower. Those are the two most destructive, thunderous energies that you can pull. I'm hearing something about a group of you out there that haven't quite stepped into this energy yet. You're not on the path yet, but you're questioning your environment. You're questioning your surroundings. You're hearing a lot of what I'm saying here, and you're starting to step back and try to see what's under your nose, right? Scorpios, your lives are not meant to look like everybody else's. Your path is unique. It's different. It's the closest thing to Batman as you can kind of get, right? Male or female. That sort of vibe is what I always get from the Scorpio energy. There's something about you that is in and engaged with society, but from the shadows, so to speak, right? You're unassuming, but you're very much meant to be on the fringes of society. You're not meant to be mixing and mingling amongst the NPCs, right? Just the sheeple. That's not you. In fact, as a Scorpio, most of you feel more alone in those kinds of environments because you feel so disconnected to those kinds of people. These people are just mainlining the holographic reality. They are indoctrinated into a system that you have awoken from. And, you know, though there's a big message in this reading about speaking truth, it's still complicated for you because it's almost hard to put your truth into words, Scorpio, which is exactly why you're being encouraged to do it. It's a challenge for you because you've been through so much. You don't even know where to start. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Four of Cups, Cancer energy at the solar plexus. Literally follow to what I just said, because this Four of Cups is an energy of apathy, feeling unfulfilled. And this could really speak about you Scorpios that are now starting to analyze your environment. You're starting to realize that you don't connect with any of these people, that you feel more lonely around all of these individuals than you would if you were actually alone, focusing on your path and your purpose and what you came here to do. And if there was going to be one card from this deck that represented seeing what's right underneath your nose, it would be this card. Because right here you are. It's like you're this horse, you're kind of down, right? And then there's this weird bird. It's like they're tripping you up and they're cocking their fist back, but they're also seemingly consoling you. But it's like you don't really see this until you look for it. That they were tripping you up the entire time. It says right there, primumation. That means thou who art the first and last. That is a primary invocation for protection when it comes to the dangerous work of dealing with these demonic powers, these demons that have been draining you of your light, Scorpio. Samigan, Five of Pentacles, delay. Yeah, there's so much darkness right here. I mean, all through here. But I'm not surprised to see this Five of Pentacles because this is an energy that Scorpios have to overcome to step into their power. It's an energy of a lack mindset, a poverty mindset. That is that dark cloud that you feel like is following you around. It's a curse. See, Scorpios are made to feel from the moment of inception, for the most part, unless you were blessed with a loving, supportive family. Most of you out there were not. And your biggest obstacles and your worst enemy were the people closest to you because they essentially programmed you. So you've had to undo all the programming that they inflicted on you. All of that programming was exactly everything that has always held you back from stepping into your power and purpose because they knew that if you did, it would be over for them. And then we have the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag, Mia, divine power. So here you are now, calling upon the divine and your angels, God, for protection. You see the truth now. See, the truth begins to set you free, which allows you to call upon your protection and your angels, which is waiting on you because you have free will. And it's in this space that you are lifted up and you are being given the confidence and power. This is an energy of self-mastery. I just heard becoming the warrior. Exactly. What do we have at the throat, please? Nine of Swords, Gemini energy. Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. So now we see here, and this is following what I just said perfectly, because here's your angels protecting you from this little devilish cherub here, right? They're blindfolded. And there you are, right? The comforting God, purification, protection from the impious. These individuals have no respect for God and the higher order, but they're going to learn. They're going to fall to their knees, trembling in fear if they're not already, as they watch you rise and step into your power. Their worst nightmares coming true is seeing you standing directly in your truth, Scorpio. And there it is, right at the throat. They're trying to stop you from speaking your truth because they know what it will bring. And see how in this tower, it's like this could be them, right? In their ivory tower, so to speak, thinking they're protected. But then there's this lynch mob coming for them. You did what to Scorpio? You've been doing what to other people? What do we have at the third eye, please? Two of Cups, Cancer energy at the third eye. The swiftly hearkening God. Fruition provides expansive intelligence, gives the grace of God. So here you are now, calibrating and aligning with your higher self at the third eye. An energy of unification. I just heard like two links coming together with the higher order, with your highest good and purpose in this life cycle. Basically an energy of you arriving in this space and there's a kind of alignment that takes place. And it's on the other side of this truth. The truth that's going to set you free. The truth that's going to liberate you. Eight of Swords at the third eye. The truth that the divine has been trying to get you to speak, to let out into the universe, into the collective, however that shows up for you. What do we have at the crown to close this out for Scorpio, please? Unbelievable. Look who decided to leave the party, Scorpio. The devil, Samiel, the severity of God, seduction and downfall. Communicates with the dead, teaches the occult and magic. And look, he's shuffling off. because you see him. You have put the spotlight on him. Now, the devil here is representing whoever these people are to you. Remember, the devil is an energy. It's a kind of consciousness, Christ consciousness, Luciferian consciousness. It's not a single entity. Think of the devil as a sort of principality that sends out its tentacles, possesses people to come for you. It provides them with worldly pleasures, a false sense of power to keep you from aligning with your purpose, to bring balance, because you are the warrior that exists in the in-between. You are the keeper of realms. All right, Scorpio, this is what I have for you. This is an incredible reading, and I certainly hope that you are all able to take something very useful from this to help support you on your path. As always, thank you for supporting my channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this out, and make sure to turn on your notifications. And I'll see you next time. Take care.